What happened, Joey?
I shot my mom.
Okay.
After an argument with his 46-year-old mother, Deborah, he was so enraged that he went to his bedroom and grabbed one of his guns. Joseph then returned to the living room and shot her. He then left the house and went to the neighbor's house next door, where he told them that he had shot his mother and needed an ambulance and the police. Joseph can be heard in the background of the 911 call yelling, "I shot my mom!"
Who shot your mom? Yeah. Okay, the little boy shot his mom. I have the little boy here down at my house. His mom's up there. He shot his mom with a 22. Joey, what's your last name? It's Joey Mcvay.
15 minutes after the call, 2 police officers arrived at the crime scene.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. This off.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Deputy Stryker.
Yeah.
This is Captain Ranker, okay? All right. What's your name?
Joey Mcvay.
Joey Mcvay. Okay. What happened, Joey?
I shot my mom.
Okay. What happened? What transpired to get up to that point?
Every day it's making me so mad.
Okay. How old are you? 10? Okay.
When the cops arrived at the crime scene, they met with Joey's grandmother, sister, and the neighbor who had called the cops. Deborah, his mother, was lying lifeless in the living room at the time. The authorities must first determine if the young boy truly committed the murder or if they are protecting someone else, since they know that a child would face less severe punishment. However, the 10-year-old youngster has already confessed.
So where did you get the gun from? Your room?
No.
Okay. What kind of gun did you have?
22.
A 22? Rifle, handgun, or what?
Nothing.
Okay.
I know my dad.
Laying back on your bed?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did Mom do to you to go and upset you for that?
He's on his every day. He's all different stuff.
The gun Joseph used to shoot his mother was a .22 caliber rifle, one of 6 guns that the boy had been given by his father. The guns had previously belonged to Joseph's paternal grandfather, and he had inherited them. Joey's father, Michael, claims Deborah grabbed him by the hair in an attempt to kick him out just weeks before the shooting, adding fire to an already raging flame of heated exchanges, disagreements, and toxic fighting. The 10-year-old boy was now living with his mother and his 15-year-old sister, Shauna. But what causes a 10-year-old child to shoot his mother in the head? Police think he became angry after an altercation with his mother about firewood. His mother asked him to bring some in the house, and he allegedly refused. Let us assume for a second that this was the real reason why Joey shot and killed his own mother. Then it's reasonable to think that Joey has a high risk of developing an antisocial personality disorder. The antisocial personality disorder can only be diagnosed if the individual is 18 years or older. However, they must have a history of displaying some of the symptoms of conduct disorder before this age, which then continue into adulthood. People with APD are characterized by a persistent pattern of violation and disregard of the rights of others, and this behavior begins in childhood or early adolescence. This disorder has also been referred to as psychopathy or sociopathy. Individuals with this disorder typically lack empathy and disregard the wishes, feelings, or rights of others. They may also be manipulative or deceitful for either personal profit or pleasure. But was that the true reason? Or was this merely the straw that broke the camel's back and caused Joey to explode? However, sometimes the truth is messy and hard to grasp. To find out what really happened, the police transported Joey to the local police station, where he was interrogated by an experienced investigator.
buddy?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not okay, you know what I'm saying? But as much as to be expected, I guess. I just want to get a better feel on what happened and, you know, maybe why it happened.
I don't know. People ask me.
Okay. I didn't know anyone else even asked you any questions.
One of the council would ask me, but is there any way I could, like, how long do you think it would take until I could, like, be with her?
Joey is unable to comprehend how severe his situation really is, and he has no idea what consequences he might be facing. His main concern appears to be the time this interview will take, so he can leave and live with his grandmother. Now, the investigator must determine if the 10-year-old youngster understands the magnitude of his crime. Furthermore, he needs an official confession from him, and he is willing to deceive Joey in order to obtain it.
What's the, whatever, I can't even think what it's called, like, what is it called? Where they're gonna take you? No. The attorney? Whatever, guy, like, helps you and stuff. Like,
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah. I don't know what to do.
They can help you regardless of whether you talk to me or not. We don't expect you to know, Joey. How old are you?
10?
You're 10 years old. You know, I'm not going to treat you like an adult, like you know everything. That's basically why we're taking longer to see if you want to sign this or not.
The interrogator is ignoring Joey's request for a lawyer and is urging him to speak with him here, despite the potential legal implications. The investigator uses a deceptive strategy by claiming to be the suspect's buddy and acting as if he has the suspect's best interests at heart, generating a false sense of safety and trust that may persuade the suspect to reveal information and sign his Miranda rights. Given his stage of development, a 10-year-old child may not completely comprehend their Miranda rights and the potential legal consequences of signing the document. According to psychological study, children's cognitive capacities, notably in decision-making and risk assessment, are still evolving at this age. According to interviews with family members, including Joseph's father and sister, as well as school authorities, it has been revealed that Joseph was exposed to and victimized by both of his parents. It is also said that his mother was emotionally and verbally abusive to Joseph.
What happened today in particular, why you got so mad?
She calls me lazy. I hate when she calls me lazy because I'm the only one that brings fire when my dad was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of things, but no, I'm the lazy one.
So you do your chores around the house and...
Yeah, today a piece of wood hit me right in the shoulder and she's like, okay, well, just go get some wood.
The fact that Joey allegedly murdered his mother over an insignificant incident raises questions about the basic structure of their relationship. To fully understand what happened, it is necessary to investigate the family's financial and emotional situation, as well as the history of their interactions with one another. According to research, family functioning and communication patterns might be significant predictors of juvenile aggression. The detectives will now start questioning Joey's father and sister to gain a better understanding of the crime and to figure out whether Joey is a cold-hearted killer or just a traumatized victim. Deborah and Michael had separated only a few weeks prior to the shooting. At the time, Michael had an outstanding warrant for failure to pay child support. It is said that their separation intensified Joseph's angry outbursts, and he started displaying more behavioral problems.
When did she grab you by your hair?
Yeah, really.
What was the reason for you left the last time here about a week or a week and a half before this happened?
The doctors should be able to tell you, but she had been on for anxiety and all kinds of things. Bipolar and had mood changes.
Joey's father, Michael, claims Deborah grabbed him by the hair to kick him out of the house just weeks before the shooting, and that she suffered from anger issues as well as a variety of other psychological problems. Children who live with a bipolar parent may experience feelings of guilt, worry, and helplessness. But what exactly is bipolar disorder? Bipolar disorder, also known as manic depression, is a mental illness that brings severe high and low moods and changes in sleep, energy, thinking, and behavior. People who have bipolar disorder can have periods in which they feel overly happy and energized, and other periods in which they feel very sad, hopeless, and drained. In between those periods, they usually feel normal. The highs and lows can be viewed as two poles of emotion, which is why it is named bipolar disorder. Symptoms can cause unpredictable changes in mood and behavior, resulting in significant distress and difficulty in life. As research shows that turbulent childhoods lead to trust issues, the same risk arises with a bipolar mother. Bipolar disorder can cause chaos and levels of unreliability that can leave the child feeling uncertain. Without the constant stability of a parent, it can be hard to open up and trust new people later in life. One of the most devastating long-term consequences for children who have a mother with bipolar is depression and anxiety. The unpredictability of bipolar disorder can make others feel down or anxious. Maternal neglect can be common in mothers with bipolar disorder, which can lead to an increased risk for anxiety and mood disorders like depression in high-risk children.
You always heard her yelling and screaming at the kids. Did you ever see her strike the kids at all?
No, yeah, I did. So her 6 years ago, she got her Josh, the big Josh. I had to get her off of him that time.
Was that Josh Mike?
Yeah, she had him in the corner and slapped the shit out of him. She had anger issues bad, you know.
Joey had been showing signs of aggression and lashing out for years before this incident. In 2006, he was getting into an altercation with a bus driver, and then a year later, when he was just 6 years old, he reportedly used a dustpan to swat at a school administrator after a disturbance in the classroom. By his own account, this wasn't the first time he'd been this angry.
How do you feel now that things are the way they are? You feel bad that it happened, that you actually shot it?
Yeah.
Do you think it was worth it, even though you were mad?
No.
Should anyone be shot or die over an argument?
No.
We might not hear the same level of fear in Joey's voice if he had antisocial personality disorder or psychopathy. This is due to the fact that people with these conditions generally exhibit a reduced responsiveness to fear and may have difficulties experiencing emotions in the same way that others do. They often exhibit decreased amygdala activity in response to fear, which may contribute to their fearless and impulsive behavior. In addition, during interviews with school officials, Joey was described as polite and nice, but it was remarked that he experienced episodes where he would strike out at others in anger when provoked. But what are the causes of anger issues in children? When children continue to have regular emotional outbursts, it's usually a symptom of distress. Children who seem angry often have severe and unrecognized anxiety. If your child has anxiety, especially if they're hiding it, they may have a hard time coping with situations that cause them distress, and they may lash out. A lot of acting out is the result of trauma, neglect, or chaos at home. Kids who are not feeling safe at home can act like a criminal at school, with fairly intimidating kinds of behavior. Some additional causes include, but are not limited to, frustration with peers, home, or school, substance abuse, environmental factors such as familial difficulty, for example, divorce, separation, abuse, family history of mental illness, physical illness, stressful life circumstances, for example, academic issues or abuse, bullying.
We were like going my mom and daughter. Like we have our plates here and there, but it wasn't bad as Joey.
And Joey and Mom argued
A lot.
a lot.
When we got home, he was supposed to bring water for the car, and he didn't. And Mom kept asking him over and over. So we brought like one later, and Mom asked him to bring the water. So then he started arguing. When he shot her, she just like dropped her around, and then he pointed at me. I told him not to. So I was trying I went to put the gun down first, and he put it on the couch. I checked Mom, and there was no pulse, and he was yelling and screaming and all like confused and stuff for what happened.
The latest report suggests that Joey may have been suffering from mental illness. A therapist has testified that years later, Joey still refuses to discuss the shooting in therapy, as it causes him significant psychological distress. Upon further investigation into Joey's background, 2 psychologists discovered that he had been struggling with anxiety and depression, in addition to a learning disability. As a result of his actions, he has been sentenced to indefinite confinement, currently held in an unnamed facility by the Ohio Department of Youth Services. Joey's fate remains uncertain. He must undergo a reintegration evaluation. This means that he may be held in an adult jail until he is deemed ready to be reintegrated into society. If he passes the evaluation, he may be placed under intensive parole or probation, which would allow him to live in society, but with certain restrictions and conditions. Shauna and Joey lived in an unstable home led by parents who were physically abusive toward each other. The siblings lived in a dirty, cluttered, and unkempt home, police reported. Joseph's parents didn't abuse him physically, but they were emotionally and verbally abusive, a point made by Joseph's attorney, Andy Hyde. This wasn't a physical abuse situation. Joey was beaten down every day to the point that was life as he knew it, Hyde told the court. He was told that night his mother wanted him gone. She never wanted to see him again, and that he was a worthless piece of shit. It's a heartbreaking story, highlighting the devastating impact that untreated mental illness can have on individuals and society as a whole. It serves as a reminder of the importance of early intervention and support for those struggling with mental health issues.